Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This video is going to be slightly different to what I normally do. I received a few requests from Instagram to film my September setup in my bullet journal, and so that is what I'm doing. So before we get into the September setup, I am flipping through what I've done so far. I am very new to bullet journaling, and just to test out the style of planning, I decided to turn one of my Kikki case that I hadn't been using into a bullet journal. So I print and cut my own inserts. I will leave a link to the blog that I found the grid inserts from, and I just created that. So I have really been enjoying planning in this style. So when next year comes around, I will be moving into a Nuna notebook. That is the one that I have been eyeing. So I'm excited to be slowly transitioning into a bound notebook, but for now and for the rest of this year, this will be my bullet journal. So as you saw, I have kept everything quite minimal in terms of collections. I don't really have that much that I want to keep track of, and if anything comes up, then I have been slowly adding to my collections at the very beginning of the bullet journal. But I am planning on going more full out next year when I actually get my Nuna notebook, but for the time being, I'm just keeping everything very simple and just transitioning myself into this style of planning. And so yeah, August was a mountainscape theme that I did, and for the month of September, it is going to be a spring theme, since here in Australia it is now spring. September is the first month of spring, so I decided to go with a whimsical floral nature theme, just something that really spoke spring to me. And so for my cover page, I decided to draw a fairy. So that is what I have slowly drawn so far. And for my September font, it is just some faux calligraphy, and right now I am making a sort of wooden wreath type of situation with some floral elements. I am not that good at drawing floral elements or just nature stuff in general, so for this month it is going to be a bit of a challenge for me, since that is stuff that I am not used to drawing. It is out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to challenge myself to expand what I can draw. So that is partly what I use my bullet journal for. And as you will see, I've been keeping everything quite simple. I'm still trying to find my way around the system and what I like and what I don't like. But moving on, the pens and markers that I'm using are Copic Chow markers. The paper that I have is 200 GSM paper, so the Copic markers don't bleed through too much if I use a light hand, but if I go over the same spot too many times, it does bleed through a little bit. And then I am also using the pink Crayola SuperTip markers, and that is sort of the accent color that I will be going with throughout the month as well, is that pink Crayola SuperTip marker. But that is my cover page. Now moving on to the actual spreads of September, the first thing that I'm doing is making my monthly spread, and last month, as you saw, I went with a calendar layout, and I have been enjoying this so far, so I decided to go ahead and do it again. For the spreads in this video, at least, I don't know about future videos, but I won't be filling them out. But if you would like to see me fill out future spreads as I am doing it, or if you would like to see more of these bullet journal videos, I will probably only do the monthly setups, since I am still very new to this. Please let me know down below. But for the monthly spread, I wanted to go with the mushrooms with the red tops. I'm not too sure what they're called, but they're sort of like the iconic whimsical mushrooms. So I decided to base the monthly spread off of that. And also I decided to draw a little bunny in the corner of the page, and since I'm still new to this, I decided to give myself a little legend slash key for symbols that I will be using throughout the monthly spread. And this is mostly just because as I'm getting used to the style and symbols and everything, I just wanted to give myself a little nudge slash cheat sheet sort of thing by having a journal section, or sorry, a legend section. But now I am coloring in the elements that I've drawn on this page. The pens that I've used that are colored are the Kikki gel pens, and then majority of the coloring stuff that I am using are the Copic markers, also some of the Tombow brush pens, mostly just in the grey shade. The Pacific one that I'm using is N95, and then also the zebra Mildliners, and I sort of swap between my pens depending on what I'm doing and what's nearest to me, but I have basically just been using some fine liners and also the Muji gel pens. So that is basically what I'm doing right now. And also I have been using some coloring pencils as well, just to add in some more depth to the little doodles. Like I mentioned, this paper can handle ink, but not to the point where I can layer lots of ink over it, especially with the Copic markers. So I'm just keeping everything very simple. And also this is the first time I am doing a very colorful spread. As you saw before in the flip through, August was quite minimal and quite black and white slash grayscaled and monochromatic. So doing so much color like this was really out of my comfort zone. But now moving on to the next two spreads. Right now what I am doing is making my habits page, and I am making it pretty much exactly the same to the August habits. Most of my bullet journal is inspired by My Life in a Bullet, which is basically the person that really inspired me to start bullet journaling. And so most of my spreads are inspired by her. So I decided to do the vertical habit tracker layout, and I'm also making a little key section just so I can remember what these icons mean. And it may seem that I'm tracking a lot, but so far these are all of the things that I've been wanting to track on a regular basis, and I also gave myself a little bit of room on the actual tracker itself to be able to add another symbol if I wanted to. And then on to the sort of header section. I wasn't really too happy with the September habits header. I could have done it a lot better than what I actually did, but I think that might have just been the pressure of having to film or just having to really step outside of my comfort zone. But I just moved on and continued with the spread. The next spread that I am doing is making a time log. This is also inspired by My Life in a Bullet, and so far I haven't really been keeping up with it, but I am hoping to see if it's an actual useful spread or not. I will let you know when I do my October one, but I'm just adding in a few grass blades. I also made a little key section at the bottom. Then the last page that I will be making for now in this video is my weekly page. So far what I've been doing for my weekly pages is putting the week of the year we are in, and then the dates and the month that the week has. Then underneath that I am dividing up the page into 7 sections, and using this sort of like a weekly overview of important tasks slash events. So it's just a weekly overview basically, and I will fill that in as the week goes on. And then after that I realized that I forgot to draw out the dot grid, since I really like the look of that, so that is what I'm doing right now. And obviously it was around this point where my hand started to cramp, so I took a little break and continued on. But after I have finally done the dot grid, I was tempted to do it for the time log, but I decided against it because I knew my hand would just give out on me. After that, I've moved back to the weekly pages, and I'm creating a sort of weekly section. I divided up the page into 3 sections for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then later on I would do that for the second half of the week as well. But now here is the flip through of my September setup. I feel like this video is really not that good, but hopefully in the future I will be able to improve on the style of video and also just filming it in general. But hopefully you have enjoyed it either way. And yeah, so that is everything that I have. I will list all the materials I used down below, and as always, have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!